Welcome back to Wake Up Charlotte Weekend on this Sunday. I hope your day is off to an amazing and peaceful start. If not, hey, take a look at your screen. A beautiful view from Lake Norman. Hopefully that adds a little peace to your day. As Brittany said earlier, we're bringing the sunrise, but the possibility of some rain is in your forecast.
Yeah, we have storms returning later on this afternoon, but at least we're trying to bring some of that sunshine. And our live cameras are working this morning, but probably working overtime to kind of, balance out the fact that we have rain and storms this afternoon. Kannapolis camera live this morning, part of our Carolina camera network, and Mr. Sparky again looks great. You can see some of those high level thin wispy clouds out there, especially on the upper left hand portion of your screen. This indicative of a lot of low level moisture across the area. Getting ready for another Kannapolis Cannonballers game back at home. First pitch about 1:05 today, and you can see things are staying nice and dry through that time frame. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. By this afternoon. Now, what we're watching actually to bring us our rain and storms this afternoon is this little piece of energy up toward Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Why we're watching this here is as it progresses actually southward, this is going to be kind of the driver of some of our storms. Now, one of the reasons why we watch kind of what's happening right now and how it progresses through the afternoon is you'll notice how this line is kind of bowing out like a comma shape. This is indicative of a lot of really strong winds, so wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Also, you can kind of see a little bit of that line trying to form ahead of some of those storms. Again, this is futurecast well up to our north. That's also kind of showing that pop-up storm potential ahead of the main line. A lot of times we look at the history of a line to see what it's going to do a little bit later on. So kind of some of the things that I'm watching this afternoon that I want you to be watching out for too. Again, is heavy rain, frequent lightning, and gusty winds with this line. Primary risk, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, if not stronger, but that we could see some of those scattered storms ahead of the main line. So oftentimes when we enter the summertime season, we get some of those pop-up storms from just daytime heating. Of course, the humidity of the day, the sunshine, and the fact that we have warmer temperatures. Today it's going to kind of be similar because we have all of those factors. We'll get some of those scattered storms again ahead of the main line. So watch this progression here. By 3-4 o'clock we have storms moving into parts here of the Charlotte metro area and areas north, but see how some of those scattered storms again are ahead of the main line. That's a little bit further back toward Boone, parts of Jefferson there. So this does expect to get closer to Charlotte, probably the 485 loop, closer to about 6 o'clock, and then eventually shifts further south. So you'll notice the timing here much later on today. So you still have plenty of time to do those outdoor activities. Mountains, foothills 3 and 4. Close to 6 p.m. for most of the metro. And then, of course, we'll be watching 8-9 o'clock. Still some storms for areas in the southern Piedmont down toward the Sandhills before we eventually do clear things out by 10 o'clock. So let's talk whatever, of course, our impacts are. I told you heavy rain, gusty winds, frequent lightning, but the actual potential for severe storms is mainly Charlotte area north. Remember that severe storm risk is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts or 1-inch hail or a tornado. The 1-inch hail, the tornado, not going to happen. We could see some small little hailstones, but not expected to get to quarter size. So again, area shaded in yellow, chance for a few severe thunderstorm warnings later on today. Areas in blue, you're still going to see storms with that line moving through, but they're going to be much less aggressive, I would say, just because those lines typically, of course, weaken as they move further south. Now, as we look ahead toward tomorrow, especially, you're going to notice this humidity kind of slowly starts to uptick. Today, we're seeing dew points in the 50s, not necessarily bad, but we've been in the 30s and 40s. So you will notice that small change. Then again, this afternoon, we reach the lower 60s and then even into the mid to even upper 60s. I want to just cry, honestly, just thinking about the fact that tomorrow we could have a few dew points near 68. It's just something that we don't see typically till closer to the early part of summer. So likely a shock to the system for many. As you check out the Sky Roofing 7-day forecast, it's one of the reasons why tomorrow with temperatures in the mid 80s, uptick in humidity, we're going to see another opportunity for scattered storms. Rinse repeat on Tuesday, but Tuesday actually could be the warmest day of the year so far, getting into the upper 80s, which means a few spots locally could be even close to 90 degrees. Now, thankfully, this little taste of summer doesn't last the entire week as we stay in the 80s all week, but we do get some slightly drier air shifting in by late Wednesday and into Thursday and Friday.